Okay. I think we are all ready.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon for everybody around the globe, because we know that people from all over the world are following us. My name is Grace Caldos, and I am here together with my fantastic co-host, Cristina Garcia. In a minute, we will introduce ourselves. First, thank you for joining us. And today we are here for this passion and technology event. And I just want to let you know what can you expect for this event. We are going to learn from role models who has discovered the passion and are using technology to extend their positive impact in business and in the world, so beyond business. And also identify how technology and passion are a magic combination in order to have a fulfilling career in tech. But now I would like to give you the space to introduce yourself, Christina, and then I will continue.
Yeah, so hi everyone. As Grace said, from all over the world, I'm happy to have you all here with us this afternoon or this evening already. I'm Cristina Garcia. I'm project engineer and member of Women in Tech Netherlands, and together with my amazing colleague Grace, we are organizing these events, Passion and Tech. And nothing else to say that I hope that you enjoy it and that you feel passionate and inspired by the stories of our amazing speakers that we have today. And I think, Grace, I can actually introduce our speakers.
Yes, so but please let me say a few words about myself.
For sure. Sorry.
I joined Women in Tech together with Christina and other fantastic members of our tribe like 3 years ago. So since the beginning of the chapter in the Netherlands. And also I am leading the Sustainability Lab in the Intelligent Enterprise Institute for SAP in the global team. And so I cannot be more proud to have this opportunity to bring this message that we are bringing on behalf of SAP, Business Women Network, and of course, Women in Tech.
I'm already seeing people from everywhere, like hi from sunny Florida. Oh, I envy you.
And that's from sun.
So, okay, let's go with our speakers. So first of all, I would like to introduce Debbie Roberts. Let's kick it into the room. So Debbie is Global Marketing Cohesive Strategy and Technology Lead at SAP. Hello, Debbie. Nice to have you here.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me.
And our second speaker today, let's put it here, it's Yago.
Hello.
So Yago is Artificial Intelligence PhD Computer Vision Team Leader at New Horizon Technologies. So hi, Yago. I'm happy to have you here also with us.
Thank you for inviting me as well.
So first of all, before we start with our event itself, we want to let you know what Women in Tech is a bit more. So let me share my screen and I will make an introduction. So Women in Tech, for those that didn't hear about us before, is an international organization, and we have a mission, and the mission is to close the gender gap and empower more and more women and girls to embrace technology. And our objective or our limit is in 2030. We try to reach this objective by different ways. We follow the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. And right now, as you can see, we have around 30 chapters all over the world. Grace and myself, we are part of the Netherlands chapter for sure. Here are some numbers of the different activities and the impact we are having until now in the last year since 2018. I would like to go a bit more in deep actually into our amazing chapter, our amazing tribe. We have members actually from all over the world. We live in Netherlands, but I think actually we just have one person that is really, let's say, Dutch. but that's, I think, makes our chapter even more interesting, complete and full of diversity and different ideas and different ways to do things. And we are trying to reach our goal by running different events, as this one, for example, Passion in Tech, but also all other events that you can follow in our LinkedIn, because our amazing marketing and social team try to keep you all informed, and then you can follow us. So here just some of our statements. I think now I don't want to spend much more time in this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I give the word to Grace, that also will introduce the business women organization at SAP, if I'm not wrong in the naming, because I don't know if we point out this, but this event is also a sponsorship by SAP.
Thank you, Cristina. I don't know if you can see my screen already.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes. First, I would like to say that why are we joining forces with Women in Tech to get your attention on this topic, passion and technology. Here are some shocking numbers regarding on when the gender gap is expected to be closed. So probably we will make it, depending of at least I will make it. But if we look at the numbers in Western Europe, the gender gap will be closing in 52 years. In North America, it's expected to be closing around more than 60 years. In Latin America, around 70 years, and other regions 100 years. Of course, we are talking at the current pace. That's why movements like Women in Tech and the collaboration that Women in Tech is having with other organizations, companies, and other non-profit organizations as well, institutions in general, to change this pace. So to accelerate, the pace when we are going to close this gender gap is very important, and that's why it's important for SAP Business Women Network. It's very important to join forces with such an organization as Women in Tech. Now, just to give you a little bit of information about the organization. First, we are very proud to support Women in Tech the Netherlands. Here you can see like a nice collage of all the events we have run together. And hopefully will be more to come. This is our 7th event in the last 2 years. And about Business Women Network, it's an internal organization. Okay, it's a different. We have a common ground, and that is we are aiming to close the gender gap in tech. But the difference between Women in Tech and Business Women Network is that we are an internal network organization that we are looking for empowering women at SAP at global level. So connecting, helping to connect women with not also with other women, but also with allies to grow in their career and to lead the development of their career. Currently, we started in 2007, and now we have 90 chapters globally, and we are 15,000 members worldwide. So I am one of them. And our team this year is Business Women Network Drive Impact with Intention. So we are promoting diversity, relationships, and relationships is not only internal but also external. That's why the relationship with Women in Tech is very important. Inclusion, visibility, and equity. So we have 2 executive sponsors that are part of the board member of the global team, and this is our team in the at SAP the Netherlands. And for the rest, thank you. So, and I would say let's kick off our panel discussion.
Yeah, let's start.
Yes,
I think Grace, you have a small request for our audience.
Yes, I have a small request before we, to get in the right mood to talk about passion and technology. I would like to invite you to go to menti.com. I think you can still see my screen, and enter these codes and answer the question we have for you. And it's just one simple question: is what are you passionate about? and any answer is correct. So you don't need to worry about, can be passionate in any area of your life, okay? Professional, if you like to cook, if you like, whatever you would like to do, please feel free to fill in your answer.
Grace, can we share again the code just in case someone didn't get it?
Yes. Can you see my screen again?
There it is. Yeah. Exactly.
Menti.com.
Let's see if we have some answers.
Yes, I will go to the. You can see my screen as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see some answers. Sometimes it takes some time for people to get in, but okay, we see some answers. Machine learning, networking, passionate about success, computer vision, earning money by myself. Nice.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, actually, we have also in our pipeline of topics women in investments, but will be another topic. We see. Can you see my
screen? A lot of different answers. Yeah, a bit small, but I don't know if it's possible to.
Yeah, gastronomy.
But yeah,
wellness.
We have a lot of different topics today.
Yeah, right. Digitization, girl power, challenges, lifestyle. Yeah, it's very nice to see your answers. Good. No, that is good. So this brings you to the mood, right? To think about your own passions, because now we are going to talk about the passions of our speakers, and we hope they will inspire you. Thank you for filling in this. I will make a you can keep answering, sharing your answers via Menti. I will make a print screen later so we can see the final result.
Okay, so let's
go to the questions.
Exactly.
To the final discussion. Now, Debbie used to be my colleague. She's my former colleague because both were part of the marketing team at SAP the Netherlands. So, and now both we are in different teams, also in the global organization for SAP. But I can remember, Debbie, you once shared with me, how did you start your career? It was totally a different path you were thinking. And I think it's very interesting because there is no one way, right?
No, definitely not. And if you would have asked me 12 years ago and told me that I was now doing this job, I would have laughed at you. Because if you had asked me to fill in that word cloud like 12 years ago, my dream was really to become an interior designer. So I really, really wanted to go in that direction. And I worked really hard to basically get accepted at an academy of art. And I did. And while I started there at the Academy of Art, I found out like, well, I'm maybe not creative in the arty sense because the constant feedback that I got was that I was way too commercial thinking. So that is when I basically developed a new dream, and that I was working for a advertising agency. So I applied for a study communications where I combined the creativity with the commercial aspect. Well, I followed that path, and then when I applied for university, then I got a job offer there, and all of a sudden I was an education marketer, which I also liked. But at one point, I was really at that bridge like, what do I want? And then basically, it was my best friend who was working at an IT company and saying, well, here it's a lot of fun. And they had a job open in the rail and public transport industry. I hardly ever take a train or a bus, so I had totally no clue about that. No passion about it, no knowledge about the IT market, but I got that opportunity, and then I appear to be good at it. And I really wanted to become better in my job as a marketer there, and automatically then I just started to dig into the data and to the technology to see how I could work more efficient. So I sometimes also call myself a very lazy marketer. How do I get more outcome with less effort? So yeah, and now I ended up in SAP in the global marketing department, where we have a marketing automation process and strategy team on the business side, and where I am the cohesive strategist and constantly digging for gaps in the strategy, technology, and translating them into new business requirements, which are then brought to life. So.
Great story, Debbie. Great story, because I find it fascinating, especially for to explain people like they don't need to really have a clear idea in the beginning. Just
No.
follow what they are interested in, and maybe in
I
that way.
don't believe in career planning. Just
Yes.
follow your passion.
So just start and see where this path will bring you to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, Debbie. Stories like yours, I think, release a lot of pressure actually in young
Sure.
people, because sometimes you feel like you need to know, you need to have the path, and you need to know what you want to do with 18 years old. And then when you listen these stories and you are really on top of your career and you change, so I mean, there is hope, there is chance to it. Yes, yeah. So keep working on it, I think. So that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
inspiring. Yeah, so let's go with the first question for Yago. Yeah, I also know Yago for a long time ago.
We
And
do.
I know, Yago, that the challenge of building tangible things is kind of the red thread in your life. So I would like to ask you, how has this defined your path to follow your passions?
Yeah, so for me, this was always a thing. When I was a child, I used to play with these Lego games. I liked to build things, even with my own hands. And I think when I studied my college, when I was even in high school, so I liked math. So for me, it was not a clear decision, but I ended up doing computer science. And yeah, I liked it. Computer science is great. And the cool thing about computer science, I think, is, okay, in the beginning it's hard as any engineering career, but once that you more or less get used to it, once that you know how to code, how to manage complexity in this kind of projects, you feel a lot of freedom, right? Because you can create almost everything you want, basically with your own hands, a laptop, internet connection, and perhaps a bunch of coffee or something like that. And that's super exciting to me. So for example, one example of this is when I finished my bachelor with a crazy friend of mine. We created a company, Shoya Software Development. And back then we had, the company was about augmented reality and virtual reality, what now is called the metaverse. That was there was no metaverse back then. It was only augmented reality, but was a nice thing to do back then. And the cool thing about that is that we were students. We did that with our own laptops or mobile phones. We even borrowed iPhones from our friends because we had no iPhone to test the app. So we had to ask other people, hey, can I just use your iPhone to check if it works? And the company right now has around 20 employees. It's led by my colleague. And yeah, it's doing well. So I think it's kind of a thing.
Yeah, so your at the end your path shows that sometimes you don't need that amount of money or that amount of investors, that you can really do something yourself if you want to put the time, if you want to put actually the passion on it. Because at the end, I can assume that you and your colleague spend a lot of hours and a lot of you drank a lot of coffee at the beginning to be able to reach it. But that's part of the
We even did some non-related projects, web pages, applications for other kind of things, so we can buy the first stuff that we need. And yeah, in the end, it became a big thing.
Yeah. Grace, you are muted.
Thank you. Before we go to the next question, and thanks for sharing your experience, Diago. I think I would like to give some space for our audience, because currently we're having like 100 people watching us from all over the world, literally from. So I don't know if you can share the screen, Christina.
Yeah, but in my screen right now, I think we were not going to see the amount of people that has joined.
Okay, doesn't matter. But I
Yeah.
just want to say we are having people from
Yeah.
Colorado, from Vietnam, from San Diego,
Yeah.
San Francisco,
So nice.
India, Nigeria, France, even from Peru, from my country of origin.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with that. Ecuador, Kosovo, Brazil.
Toronto.
Yeah, from Augusta. Yeah. No, thank you everybody for joining, and please feel free to share your thoughts and your questions in the chat, because we will be answering your questions later.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now we would like to go to a question for both of you. So it's clear that you have discovered your passion, and you are, let's say, using technology as an enabler. But what is the role that for you is technology playing to live your passion?
Mhm.
And this question is for both of you.
Who goes first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's
yeah.
go with Debbie. Yeah.
So for me, it is really like, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's really like doing a better job. So, and with that, I mean that I want to do better marketing in terms of providing that great customer experience, that customer journey, where that customer journey is personalized for that customer, for that individual, instead of us spamming basically based on what we would like to send out, so that it is basically an on request thing. And for that, to do that at scale, you can't go around technology. You need technology for that. And so basically, we are always starting from the strategy. So we are defining, you need to define a very, very strong strategy to then basically also define what kind of technological requirements you need to bring that strategy to life. And with that, we are definitely not adopting all technological trends, because I dare always tell myself the quote of Malcolm from Jurassic Park, where he says that you shouldn't be too preoccupied with whether you could, but that you sometimes should stop and think about whether you should. And that is something that I always really keep in mind. Is this really contributing to that better customer experience?
Yeah. For me, a different point of view, but I think it's also important, is that I think the technology is exciting and it's really motivating because it's advancing so fast. At least in artificial intelligence, computer vision is crazy fast. I feel like 1 week in machine learning world is like an entire year in different fields. For example, last month we in computer vision there was a new method that is kind of creating a revolution in the creative world, because it's able to generate images from scratch just with a single description. So everybody was saying, oh my god, when this was if this were available for videos or 3D things, that will be amazing. So that happened last week, so it's crazy. And I think it's a really cool way to change the world, so it's kind of going from drawing to photographs to cinema in 2 weeks, and it's amazing.
Yeah. For me, I think I think I'm also more in the field of Yago, maybe because I'm also engineer. But for me, I think the technology, it's the kind of constant challenge. Like the thing of I don't know this and I need to know more. And well, the challenge of don't understand but try to go for it. Yeah, I think that really keeps kind of alive the passion and the feeling for things.
Yeah. I think also it brings you one opportunity, right? So to fix a new thing every day, to keep up to date, to think in something different. So if you like challenges, it's kind of the perfect opportunity to solve a lot of them.
Yeah, I think there are two. It's nice. We have two visions here. To be honest, I am more what Debbie mentioned resonates a lot to me as well, because I think it is important to have like a North Star. It's outside of the technology. What do you want to achieve? And then think about technology like a toolbox. How can technology, or which technology can help me to pursue this, let's say, this purpose? And in your case, Iago, I think, of course, the adrenaline that you get from the speed of development of technology. Yeah, I mean, both are valid. I mean, it's depending.
And we have the perfect mix, eh? So we need people that looks how to use it properly and people that looks how to develop. And I think if you find both, then magic comes.
Perfect.
So that's also important.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. So let's go for the next question that is for Iago. And this is a really nice one because, Iago, so being passionate is really important and amazing actually, but how we stay motivated, how we keep doing those things that we are passionate about.
Yeah, it's actually a good question, and it's a hard answer for sure. I think the key in the end is about work and technology as well, is to enjoy what you do, right? I think your work, the time that you spend at work should somehow lie in the intersection between what you like to do, what you are good at, and also what is profitable and has a lot of future, right? So I think it's there where magic happens. And to go there, I think it's also important to follow your curiosity, your intuition, right? So I remember a funny history from Steve Jobs, I think it was. So during the time that he was at college, so he took a course in typing, so how the different kind of letters and combinations, so sans serif versus the space that you leave between the letters, how that works, what is the impression that makes in the audience. So, I mean, it was not related at all with his students, his career back then. But when he designed the iPhone, everything becomes together, and that helped him to develop, a very good experience for clients and to feel comfortable with the display. So in the end, if you do something that you feel passionate about, that for you is beautiful, is fascinating, I think you will end up using it for something good. And that are the kind of things where you will be probably the best in the world, because if you really love what you are doing, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Helps to go for harder days, no? Like at the end, some days are better, some days are worse. But if the objective is there and like I think the broad vision of what you are doing, then you keep pushing for it.
That's it. Yeah.
Now we have a nice comment from Agnieszka Fields. He's saying, I am interested in collaborating with women in tech. I am doing programming for 20 years. I am Flash games and websites at the high school. So interesting. Now, I have a question for Debbie now. And of course, Agnieszka, you are always welcome to join our chapters. I don't know from which country are you, but let's discuss offline. If you can join one of the chapters we have worldwide. Okay, regarding the next question for Debbie is, not everybody is aware about the connection between marketing and tech. Huh? So not everybody sees this 1, 2, 3. Could you could you please explain how tech is shaping the future of marketing?
Yeah, what you typically see is that marketing is becoming more and more technical, and that we have more and more a transition from offline channels to online channels, which was hugely accelerated, of course, by the coronavirus. But what you also typically now see happening in companies is that teams like we have, like the marketing automation process and strategy team, that is basically being created at the business side, so versus the IT side. So you really see teams popping up in the marketing area that are thinking about the technical requirements. And why is that? Because the strategy that consists of a lot of online channels nowadays is being that business strategy is being developed on the business side, and that strategy needs to be brought to life. So from that, the business requirements need to be turned into the technical requirements. And what you then see happening is that on the marketing side, there is a close collaboration with IT, where then together is being worked on a solution that is actually supporting in bringing that strategy to life. So, and I also see that it can be quite scary for a lot of marketers, because it also means that there's a lot of change in roles and there's a lot of new skills to learn. And what my personal experience is there is that actually the tip of the iceberg is a very good start. So try not to unravel everything at once. Just start small and you will be amazed on how fast you will grow. And that is also tying back to Iago, his comments about that crossing, about where what you really like and what you're good at. Well, you will be amazed about what you can be good at if you have that drive. So
the drive is playing an incredible role, I think, and the drive you get from your passion, of course, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because once I make an analysis of traditional marketing, right? Traditional marketing and the modern marketing. So when we think about traditional marketing, like was not so scalable, and I think this is one of the things technologies are allowing companies to do, to reach not only to expand the reach, but also to be more targeted, right? To be more relevant. So no just
Personalization at scale.
yeah, yeah, and this is it's key, of course, when we're talking about our marketing programs. Thanks, Debbie. Christina.
Yeah, I have to say I'm impressed when Debbie started to talk. I have no clue about marketing, I have to say, but I really feel this is something people is not aware about. So I really hope some people that is, doubting what next to do or something really get, oh man, I'm doing marketing. I didn't know about this because, I never heard about this really combination, like really in touch between two really big sectors, let's say, or two really big fields. So yeah.
I can recommend it.
Pretty impressive.
And I think this is a clear example on how women, like, for example, when women are thinking about stepping tech, they don't need to think, oh, I need to be an engineer,
No.
Of course, it is possible, of course. But maybe you are a marketeer, or you even, you are interested
Or
in...
you are coming from the Academy of Arts.
Yeah, exactly. No?
But actually in arts, you can also apply, you can apply technology as well.
Yeah.
A lot.
So
Actually.
I mean,
That's
it doesn't
amazing.
matter what you're passionate about. This is, I think, it's about being curious and see, okay, how can I be here?
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, so let's move to Iago. So you were mentioned before, Iago, like that years ago when you started with that will be the metaverso. And I think even I'm not that old, let's say, and even for me, when I hear about the metaverso, it feels like something about video games, people that is in a room every day now with a computer. And here I think we want to help people to see what is more in the computer vision and artificial intelligence field. So could you share with us some examples of how these subjects like computer vision or artificial intelligence can have a positive impact in our daily life? So not video games, but our daily life.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's amazing because artificial intelligence and computer vision is everywhere without knowing it, and it's shaping the world in such a huge amount of different ways. So, for example, I did my PhD in visual localization in a problem which is called simultaneous localization and mapping, which is basically just having a camera. It can be a robot or a mobile phone moving inside a place, can be indoors or outdoors, and locating it and knowing what is around and what's happening around the camera. And this is super important for augmented reality, robotics, etc. But for example, a problem that I find really impressive about SLAM, one application of this is to help blind people, for example, because people that cannot see at all have really hard problems to go inside a building and go to one room, reach that room. And there is SLAM applications that help people to do that, and also to do all kind of visual tasks, like, for example, reading a piece of text, or just identifying people that you know, but from far away you cannot see. And yeah, that's for example, helping people is super important, I think. And computer vision is a useful tool for to this end, right? So, for example, in New Horizon Technologies, in the company that I'm working now, we have kind of related projects with these topics, and we are trying to connect, the last research from the state of the art, the last top tier publications, with this kind of practical usages that can help people in the daily basis, and yeah, make a real change in the world. That's it.
Yeah, so not just technology for technology, yeah, but also
Of
see
course.
the real technology for, yeah, doing something or make something goes better or help someone. So at the end with a purpose.
That's it. You can save a lot of
Yeah.
lives. I mean, autonomous driving is just another example, right? If you think of the amount of people that dies in the car every year, it's crazy. And if you can just fix that and save just one life, I mean, it's worth a
Yeah.
huge amount of effort. So I think it's a really interesting application.
Great. And I think it is very close also to my heart, purpose-driven innovation, innovation that will improve people's lives.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Iago. And now I have a question for Debbie. Yeah, I I have here an assumption I would like to check with you, Debbie, because since marketing is an area that traditionally attracts more women than men, and
Mhm.
in the other hand, technology is increasing its role in this area. Can we conclude that marketing is opening the door for more women in tech and more men in marketing?
Yes, I definitely think so. So I definitely think so that it is marketing is a great area where women can develop on their technological knowledge, and where they from there can move into different positions and in or in tech related marketing roles like the department I am in, but also indeed to have more men, to get more men interested in marketing as a profession, actually, because it is indeed more technical. And whereas those roles are typically more, the technical roles are more like men dominated in that sense. So, and we, yeah, just from my own example, like I used to be in the same department as Grace, and I think we had like one guy in that department and then like a bunch of, I think 12, 13 ladies. And the team I'm now in is actually really 50-50. So half women and half men. So that
Yeah,
is really also a really great development, I think.
yeah, and I'm very curious. There's a question for the answer for the sorry, a question for the audience. Is like if you are in the marketing or familiar with the marketing area, if you see also this let's say distribution of this participation of men and women. I think in our case at SAP, of course, is a technology company, so we are investing a lot in technology. Not all companies are doing the same, so I'm very curious what is the rest of the industry doing in terms of the, let's say, participation of men and women in marketing. So feel free to share, please in the chat your let's say your reality at your companies.
Yeah, and I think it's a nice example that both things combined work nice. I think, Debbie, you look happy with your team, with your environment there. So I think it's a pretty nice example that it's something positive at the end. So that's also pretty important. Okay, so I would like to make a last question that is for both, and maybe it's a bit more pragmatic, let's say, open to answer. So I would like to know from you, what is success for you? What is the meaning that you put in success? And how following your passions is helping you to have a successful career in tech? So maybe this time we can start with Yago.
Sure. So I think success is just about spending time in the things that you like, right? And making something that you enjoy in your daily basis. And in the end, you can do that in tech if you like to develop applications, create things, build things, such as in my case. And I think it's just about that. And the way to do it is, I think, is just to set some goals, going for them, and trying also to follow your curiosity and to find your own way to do it.
Nice. Yeah, and to me it means like what is success? How do you define success? So are you successful when you are very high on the hierarchical ladder but you are not happy with what you're doing? So I think that really success is having a career where you get inspired every day, where you can follow that passion, and where you are able to deliver value in the way that you would like to deliver value. And with that, I also think it would actually enable you to automatically move along that hierarchical ladder if that is where you are interested in. So, but that for me alone doesn't define success. Success is indeed being happy where you are and what you do.
Yeah, and I think if you do that, in the end, you will deliver a lot of value, right? And you will move forward in wherever you want if you just do what you feel really passionate about.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have this very clear for ourselves. What is success for us, right?
Yeah.
This is the first thing. So don't pursue things that others want from us or expecting from us, but to pursue things that we are expecting from ourselves. This is key.
True.
And then and see how again how our passion. If we follow our passion, then I think definitely totally agree is that this will help us to have a successful career, because we will be in a happy space with a lot of challenges for sure, but at least doing what we like.
Yeah,
exactly. Instead of putting that line on my career plan on where I want to be in like high in terms of hierarchy, I just ask myself, like, am I still happy today? And if not, what will make me happy? And work from there. Yeah.
But again, it's important to highlight that, because I always have the feeling that somehow we grow up with the other way around. So it's kind of like the idea that we set up in our minds is like, I need to be in this position, or I need to be in 10 years here. And then it's not like, what you need to be is happy. You need to go with a smile the day you have to go to the office. You need to have the passion to, you have a bad day, but I want to continue here. So I think you realize a bit with time maybe, but I really would like to change that and really implement the other idea, the idea of I mean, the name is not that important, it's the how you feel about it.
I think it's when you wake up every day, right? This space where you're still a bit sleepy and you say, hey, I'm doing the things that I want to do today. So if you answer no for more than 2 days, then you have something to change, right? So I think that's the key idea.
Yeah, I also would like to share a comment from the chat. Fatima Monteiro, she's saying, "Success is failure. Success is letting myself fail, but recognizing that I can get back and push forward. Proving
Yeah.
myself wrong is success to me." This is thank you for sharing.
Yes,
Yeah.
Fatima.
Beautiful, beautiful set, Fatima. Thanks for sharing. Cynthia Okato, she mentioned success is simple result. So
Yeah,
she
more concrete.
again, it's about it's important to define what is success for ourselves. Yeah. Now I have also we have a lot of questions actually. I have reserved some of them. I don't know if we can put everything in the chat. How can we do that, Christina? Just mention the name of the person.
Yeah, if you point me, I can find it here.
Now I have a very interesting question from Mame Griffiths. I don't know
Let
if you.
me. Think I'm not finding it. Yeah, maybe start you, Grace, and I
Yeah,
will try to push
yeah.
it in the screen.
Mame Griffiths has and actually, Mame, thanks for your question. And this is very close to a loved one.
I have it. I think it's this one.
Yes. Let me see. Yes, thank you. So, hi, I am a stay-at-home mom currently focusing on getting back into the work field, in the tech field. I'm interested in IT security. So, you have any recommendation how to break into a field? I have been out of the workforce for about 6 years. I think it's a very interesting question because women, well,
Combines different themes.
yeah, sometimes, and I experienced the same. I slowed down my career when my children were very young, and then you need to figure out, okay, how do you return, how do you speed up your career. But I would like to listen to your thoughts, Debbie, Diago, Christina. What would you recommend to mame that want to get up to speed?
Yeah. I don't know, perhaps to catch up with some course or something like that. There is always some hot topic, even in security or this kind of fields. So if you catch up with some course of that hot topic and you start updating your LinkedIn with it, that works pretty well in my experience.
Yeah, and network, talk to people, hear what is going on in
Sure.
actual companies where you would like to work, and set out those connections and talk about your passion for it, including with your acquired knowledge of the courses, and just go for it, try and see where it will bring you.
Yeah, and I think right now, because as I think the technology field changed so fast, they are not looking for the perfect CV. I think they are looking for the people that is up to do it, like up to continue learning, up to put the time, the effort. So I also don't see anymore that really necessity of, I've been working 10 years, I have all these studies. So really, show that you are really committed to your next challenge.
Yeah, so when we were actually hiring people in our team, so we didn't find anyone who ticked all the boxes of the requirements of the job role. Not a single individual. But
Same for my last recruiting process. So
yeah, we hired based on mindset, passion, the eagerness to learn, and that is really
yeah.
what we found most important.
Yeah, and as Mame, as mother of two boys that already, are getting more independent. But when they were little ones, I went for a part-time career, and then I noticed when I want to have a challenging career again, I was struggling. So I was not looking for a job, to be honest. I was looking for a vision. I stopped looking for jobs because I was not succeeding. So I was thinking, okay, for which company I want to work, and then this how I met SIP, and very funny because the father of one of the boys in the football team of my son, he was working at SIP, but I already know him. I met him like 4 years ago. But when I realized I want to work at SIP, I asked him, could you please share my CV with your HR department? Because I think would be an interesting company. So I would say
Networking.
networking, dare to ask, look around. You are a mother. You're in contact with other parents probably, and probably maybe these people will be your network at this time. So I would say go for it, Mame. Yeah, thanks. Then I also see another question from Michelle Candy. She has a question for me actually. She wants to know, how did I diverge into sustainability consulting, as that is the field I would love to work in? Yeah, in my case, Michelle, what I did was I followed my passion literally, because when I joined SAP, I was totally connected to the purpose. Make the world run better, improve people's lives. I started in the marketing department together with Debbie, and then when I was there for already a few years, I was thinking, okay, I want to be here. I want to be creating more impact. So then these roles in consultancy related to sustainability start to merge, because it didn't exist before, and then that's why I took my chance. So I applied, and here I am.
Yeah, Grace, you are another good example of don't have like a fixed spot, but evolve. I really admire your
The
history.
path of passion.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's really an
And,
example.
and literally, this is
It
my
is.
passion bring me to here. So yeah, so I would say that's why I am totally into this topic. And I have another question from Fatima Monteiro. Always seeing more women than men in marketing. Groupon is the company that has major difference in terms of women and men in marketing. Yeah, I think in your case, it looks like there is no this nice balance we reach at SAP yet. But I would say this question is for Debbie. Of course, not all the companies are in the same, pace, like reaching this diversity in marketing. Why do you think this could be happening?
So why there is like so much differences still?
Yes.
Yeah, and I that's a good question. So I need to make an assumption there on what I think. So not really data driven. Apologies for that. But yeah, I think it is indeed. It also depends on how how companies are doing marketing, and where you see indeed where they have a more complex complex way of doing marketing, like in SAP, where we are covering all of those countries, all of those different business processes where we offer software for, that is basically enforcing us to apply personalization at scale, and to enforcing us to become more technological, and therefore also result in a grow in the diversity of the marketing departments in terms of women and men. But if you maybe go back to companies where the marketing departments are have a different focus, less on technology, maybe event organization or whatsoever, you typically see there that it is more women driven. So
Yeah.
that less men are part of those teams.
Thanks, Debbie. And I think we are only conscious of the time. We are only 7 minutes away to close this fabulous session. I would like to. There are a lot of questions about how can the people join
Yeah,
Women in Tech.
indeed.
I would say stay tuned, because we will be organizing the role models masterclass, where you will be able to follow, like, I think 4 sessions in the last quarter of the year, and at the end you will get a certificate. So stay tuned. You can enroll to these master classes as well, and this will be a way to connect to women in tech, and then to see what would be your role, if you maybe would like to have an active role in this organization. It's up to you. Okay.
And Grace, maybe before we close the session, I have like a really like yes or no question for Yago, because we are talking about men
Sure.
and women in marketing, and I don't want to open this pop-up right now, but just yes or no. So Yago, there is room for us to feel passionate about what we do in the computer vision and artificial intelligence field?
Of course, there is. I think there is a lot of space for women to bring new ideas, new talent inside computer vision, and I'm looking forward to it.
So connect with Yago. No. No, but thank you for your answer.
And before we go to close, I would like to share with you. Can you please share my screen, Cristina? Because I promised to share the results of the Mentimeter. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes?
Sure.
Okay. Very interesting. My main takeaway here will be, like, you already have a passion. I even see passions that are not related to technology, like astronomy. And I like this the most, the ones that are not related to technology, actually. Fashion, wellness, serving, family, lifestyle, and many others, as you can see. I have a call to action for you, is that you think about or make a desk research for yourself about, if you're passionate about finance, about gastronomy or whatever, think about how technology or which technologies could help you to let's say to pursue your passion. Just think about it, because for sure you will be surprised that there will be a kind of technology that will help you. For example, if we are talking about fashion, there are technologies that are helping to produce fabrics that are more sustainable, for example. And just to give you an example, so of education, I see here, education is more IT savvy than ever, and especially after COVID. So I would say, do it for yourself, and maybe in that way you will get this link between your passion and technology.
Yeah, and from my side, I will point out a comment that is also, I think, related with this, and I think I take the words from Yago, that he said, technology gives you freedom, and I think that's so important nowadays, and I think it's going to make you feel so nice that let's go for it. Well, I don't know if our speakers want to add something else. Feel free, but if not, I for sure would like to thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me. I think it's a really important thing what you do here to promote technology for women, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot for this invitation. I really appreciate it. And just to all the women out there, start with that tip of the iceberg. Just start there.
Thank you, Debbie and Yago.
Yeah, thank you for joining, and thank you to everyone that has joined us via the different channels. And keep in touch with us. We will do more events for sure. And I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot personally.
Me too. And when we see all the comments on the chat, people are very also enthusiastic about this topic as well. So stay tuned, and thank you for opening the screens at home. This event. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.